adopted like they are now already, and if we take that away, then it's going to be even worse.
How do you feel about not knowing what those children would do with their lives? Does that, I mean, that's the argument from the other side, is that, you know, they could become president or whatever. So how do you address that issue?
That's the thing with people that are pro-life or not killing babies, like, they're not taking care of these kids. They want to make the argument that they should be born and then what? And then they're just left to fend for themselves. They don't have the ability to take care of themselves.
It's a very interesting argument. You have a very, it's very logical. Can I get your name, please?
Yes, Elizabeth.
Can you spell it for us just so we get it right?
Elizabeth.
And last name?
Fuller, Fuller.
And you're from around here?
I'm from Virginia.
From Virginia. Okay, cool. Thanks. All right, thanks for talking to me. That's interesting, Jerry. Thanks. Hello? Hello, hello, hello. I can't hear you. Speak up.
The movement they have sparked, y'all. Because, bro, we're not settling for it as it is or as it was. We are fighting for abortion access as it should be and as it will be with the power of the people. Are you ready for that? Y'all, there's a quote by the person that I love. She says, come celebrate with me that every day something has tried to kill me and has failed. Well, today is no exception. So here's our job. Today we need to show them that we're united. Today we need to show them that we are defiant. Are you defiant? Today we need to show them that we're loud and proud. Can you show them that? Well, and then on tomorrow, and the next day after that, for as long as we can, in every way that we can. And now, these 17 million Planned supporters are going to stay in the streets because we know this is a marathon, y'all. So my question is, are you ready to fight alongside us? Are you ready to fight alongside us? Come on, y'all. This is the start of the new thing. So let's get this rally going. We're going to start today with an acknowledgement of the land, an acknowledgement of the indigenous people's land that we are on. And the continued impact colonization has had on all of our communities. I'm going to introduce you to Sarah Eagleheart, Women's March board member.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, of course. Of course.
My lovely name is Sarah Eagleheart, and 3 years I have been a part of Women's March since the very beginning.
17,000 marching. I mean, we love our son, we're going to love our daughter.
I'm very red today.
Nobody.
I am a global follower from the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation in Southwest West.
Oh my God. We're thrilled. Yeah, of course we're thrilled.
Also, co-CEO of the Reproductive Foundation, supporting indigenous.
I am throwing away all my business.
Hi. Could I interview either of you?
Stand today on the land
No,
of the
that's okay, cool.
and this is not a way to do. I thank all the ancestors and the indigenous people, past and present, for allowing us to be on this land today. I honor with gratitude the land itself and the people who have been stewards for generations. I also give thanks to Tinkashala, the creator, for bringing me here today. This is the same Tinkashala who has guided, supported, and loved me through 2 abortions. As well as the birth of 2 sons. Abortion is sacred. Life is sacred. The right to choose is sacred. A woman's health and well-being is sacred. As you may know, BIPOC women will suffer the most due to lack of access and resources.
Hello, hi. Can I interview you while it's quiet?
I lift up my sisters
Can you speak to me?
women's rights
Oh, I'm trying to
because they
find
have been doing generous work
No offense.
and guiding women
Yeah.
through their decisions and not
I should. You don't want to? How about mom? Yeah.
Nice. That's okay.
Come. No? Oh, see, she was willing to actually live there. They didn't want to walk in the shoes.
our ancestors knew what was best for their families. Just as their decisions were respected long ago,
Hi, could I
we are
interview
obligated
either
by
of
the
you?
Creator to continue
We're with Reuters News Agency. We're just like a general news network.
in many indigenous traditions.
So tell me, because it's quiet, it's a good time. So, and you just look at me. And So what brings you out today? What's everybody hope to accomplish with the big showing?
I guess, I don't know. I don't know if really we're hoping to accomplish anything in terms of like them not stopping, because I feel like that is kind of out of our hands, but to continue to raise support for the movement and get it back to the Supreme Court eventually, and so come up with an even better bill or an even better law to protect abortion rights federally.
Good point. So it sounds like you understand let's go back to the states.
Yeah.
So in other words, you're wrong. Unfortunate path.
Mm-hmm.
That is the feeling of the law that would result from those battles in the states.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's that we have time to waste on that, or is it...
No, not at all. I mean, the more time that we waste, the more women that are going to die from this, because abortions are going to happen regardless, and it's going to result in more deaths for particularly, disadvantaged and marginalized women, because wealthy women are going to be able to travel to states where it's legal and safe. But if you don't have those resources, you're going to seek out abortions that are unsafe, and then it's going to result in more death. So I don't think that we have any time to waste.
That's very well explained. Can you get your name, please?
Yeah, my name is Kristen.
Kristen, can you spell first? Someone's back up here.
Sure.
Can you spell first?
Kristin.
And last name?
Meyering, Meyering.
Cool. And you're from around here? Or?
Yeah, I live in Silver Spring, Maryland.
Okay, you're in Maryland? Okay, cool. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Thanks for having me.
And the tens of millions of people who have marched with us, including y'all. And before I continue, you see a lot of green in places. I want to dedicate my speech to the Green Wave movement, which started in Argentina in 2015 in a fight against femicide and transformed into the fight for abortion rights in Latin America. This bandana that other people are wearing around here were gifted to us by our allies, Dos Latinas Comunidad in Colombia. Shout out to our
Hi. I do.
So, I'll make it pretty short.
Yeah, sure.
I'm also very angry.
So, tell me, you're out here today with your baby, and what's the future for your son?
She.
What's the future for in this environment?
I can think of a lot of scenarios in which abortion is not only the most compassionate, but also a perfectly ethical choice. And I really hope that's available to her, if that is her choice one day. It just makes me really sad to think about a future in which my daughter has fewer rights than I did, or my mother did.
So it goes back to the States in this scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Are you from here? Or?
I'm from New York,
New York.
and I live here.
And so if it goes back to the States, just philosophically,
Yeah.
Do you think that makes the argument takes like another 20, 30 years to get to the Supreme Court again? It seems like we've already arrived, and then it goes back and
Yeah.
it's going to arrive again.
I mean, I think what's going on in Congress right now makes it clear that the people who are our representatives are not really reflective of the opinions and the feelings of most of the populace. And I think that also probably goes for the states too, in a lot of places. So I would certainly think twice about moving to a state that had like severe abortion restrictions, sending my child to college in such a state. I have family in some of those states. I have the means to like travel outside of that kind of state. My family does, but I know a lot of people don't. And you just hear, it's really heartbreaking.
Do you think when if and when, however, this mystery is now hanging out here, whether it comes down in this term or who knows what's going draft opinions that floated around for years in the court. So, we hope it would be this term's business, but it could theoretically become not this term's business. We could decide not to decide. They've done that before. What do you think will happen in June if it were to come down, as it looks like it will come down, as an opinion of the court?
Right.
Do you think there'll be more protests? What are the options at that point? Just let it go back to the states? Or?
I mean, I think legally, my understanding is that it goes back to the states. There's trigger laws in a lot of states, including some laws that are on the books from the 19th century that would go into effect. So I'm hopeful that that would be like a rallying cry for people to wake up and kind of understand that their vote matters and that they need to change things at the state level. Ultimately, this just needs to be passed as a federal law. That needed to happen in the 1970s, and it needs to happen today.
It's a constitutional right.
Absolutely.
Constitution versus state constitutions or
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. So, thanks for talking to me.
Thanks.
What is your name?
My name's Julia Collison.
Can you spell it just for
Sure. It's JuliaCollison.
Cool. And you're from here?
I'm from DC.
From DC. Perfect.
Nice to talk to you.
Thank you. And
thanks for being here today.
hope she has a good day today.
Okay. Hopefully she'll nap. This is her nap time. Yeah.
That we won't go back. That's right. We won't go back. It is not an exaggeration to say that this is a worst-case scenario come to life. There will be deadly consequences for women. But it is also no exaggeration to say that women will fight back as we always have and beat this moment. We will be ungovernable.
I see I'm fishing for a soundbite. I'll get a nice setup shot with you with the sound. I'll talk to you first. Let me just get some technical things set. Speak loudly together.
Oh, okay. I'll try to.
It's a tough position this group is in today.
Yeah.
It was a thought. Pretty much. What do you think we could do? What is the purpose of getting out today, every day?
I think it's important that women be able to choose their own health delivery, and that nobody should have the right to tell anybody else what to do about their pregnancy. And I don't like abortion, I'm not pro-abortion, but I feel that significant freedom is being infringed, that people should have the right to decide whether to end their pregnancy or not.
So the decision, or the impending possible decision that causes all this, still pushes it going.
Right.
Let's assume it's going in that direction. It goes back to the states. That's kind of a statement by the court to say that it's not a constitutional right.
Yes, I think it is. I disagree. I am a lawyer, and I have heard people argue that Roe v. Wade was not a justifiable interpretation of the Constitution, but I don't agree. I think Biden said it very well in his news conference shortly after the leak, that we surrender limited freedoms. We have limited government. We don't give legislatures the right to decide everything about our lives. We give certain rights that are necessary to have a peaceful, civilized community. And one of the rights we don't surrender is the right to decide what kind of health care we want. And that's, to me, the fundamental issue. And I think that is a constitutional right. It's the principle of limited government. It's like, suppose the Congress decided that every man should have a beard. That's just not something we've delegated the right to decide to the legislature. And I think we need to have better public discourse on that issue. I think it's important to respect the legitimacy of the Supreme Court. I don't think we should be attacking the institution. We should need to protect the institution. Yeah, I think we need to protect and preserve our institutions, including the Supreme Court, but this concept of limited government, that we don't surrender certain rights to majority vote. And one of those rights is health care.
I think I got all the previous part. What's your name?
Yes, Ellen Harrison. Yes, ELLEN HARRISON.
Okay. And you're from DC?
I am, yes.
I think the 9th is the holy period. You cut the 9th off with the decision of Justice Samuel. The 9th Amendment has been around for years. What's in
What's up? Hey, DC! You always gotta hold our whole city down. So I can tell you that now. Welcome to DC. I would like to welcome to DC. My name is Justice Samuel Alito. I'm a DC native, born and raised in the most marginalized part of Washington, DC. I also want to acknowledge the part of DC where I was raised, we don't even have a hospital for a black woman to have a baby.
Thank you.
The part of DC where I was raised, we don't even have a maternity ward for a black woman to have a baby. And I want to acknowledge that black women in the part of the city that I was raised, black women to have a maternity ward, black women delivered a baby, east of the river is a reproductive health care desert. East of the river is a reproductive health care desert. I am a co-conductor of Hers Water Streams. We are Black-led abolitionist community defense hub, centering black lives at risk for state-sanctioned violence in the greater Washington area. Our work includes legal empowerment, political and civic education, mass protesting, organizing campaigns, and community care for the systems that's building alternatives to dismantle oppressed systems. I stand here before you today to fight for black women legal rights. I stand here today for you to educate you on what's going on with the black woman right now with the roadway. The criminalization of abortions, we're going to stay in these streets until we defeat this league. I need you to commit to stay in these streets until we win the criminalization of abortions that was legal. Because what y'all don't realize, abortions are still legal right now. Abortions are still legal. So if you have an abortion that you got planned, go get that abortion. If you can't afford the abortion, contact your abortion fund. And if you got generation wealth, this generation wealth over here, donate to the abortion fund.
Hi, can I interview you? Just
No,
thank you.
To fight for black women, legal empowerment. Excuse me, y'all. I'm going to give that chair for a minute. This was a last minute thing, but I got y'all. That's right. Denying access to safe legal abortion, the gender-affirming health service, is a continuation of their troubling history. Abortion care is health care, and it's absolutely essential to the thriving future of black people. We will not give up our fight for the future. Our freedom comes from movement, not courts. Black people's freedom comes from movement, not courts. I wasn't sure when Congress made the U.S. Supreme Court the coochie police. So if the U.S. Supreme Court decide they want to be the coochie police, I'm here to defund the coochie police. And And if they decide to police a black woman coochie, I'ma court leave for the DMV free black mama's bailout. Your laws will try to enslave black women, but our love and protection for them will bail them out of your jail. Our body, our choice. We have the human right to maintain personal body autonomy, and an effort to limit access to abortions disproportionately harm black women, girls, transgenders, and gender non-conforming people. I want to be very clear, and I have no doubt, full access to abortion care is a necessary component of freedom for all black people. The full weight of criminal legal systems is being weighed, leveraged already against the black woman. This ain't new for the black people, the black woman, the black girl. This machine already was already enrolling. Black feminists that do reproductive work been fighting for the black woman. Because we already was criminalized trying to have an abortion. And it's our body, our choice. Black people are targets. You can't look away at the most violent machine. As Hers Valley Dreams rise up in solidarity with the movement for black lives and all black people, I leave you with a call. Demand us to have full access to comprehensive sexual and reproductive health care, and eliminate the discrimination barriers to health care for all people. Abortions, no exceptions. I also challenge you as a DC native, and DC being a political playground for the different places and the different campaigns, I challenge you to leave DC better than the way you found it. You can support and follow different organizations locally that's doing this work. You can follow Hers Dreams at Twitter and Instagram. Now I need y'all to just take out y'all phones because we doing go way work too. So take out your phones right now. Because I need you to text. Stolen. SCOCOU. SCOCUS.
Good.
Sure.
454-1214. Text stolen.
Yeah. What do you think?
Right now,
Defend abortion.
Yeah, defend abortion. The healthcare system is trying to attack women, and that's wrong. We've had Roe v. Wade in place for over 50 years, and it should stay that way. And it's been precedent that has been set while Supreme Court judges in their confirmations hearings have said that they would uphold this and have lied about that. Blake.
Can you spell for someone back at the bureau?
B-L-A-K-E. Yeah. Lawton. L-O-U-F-I-N.
Can I interview you also?
Sure.
Oh, sure, yeah. Just starting with So tell me what Bands Off Our Body. What's the mission today? I mean, for somebody just viewing on TV for the first moments with the people, what do you hope to?
I just hope that people understand that it is the women's right to choose. We're here, we're motivated to make sure that we protect our rights and we protect women's health care.
Can I get your name?
Yeah, it's Rebecca, R-E-B-E-C-C-A, Tisdell, T-I-S-D-E-L-L. Thank you.
Thank you.
Could I interview you real quick?
Sure.
Because that's, even if that's going on. So tell me, why are you out here today?
I think that all these new regulations, they are for a very small group of people's their specific political views. Everybody deserves equal rights, and they deserve to make their own choices about their own bodies. Nobody owns somebody else's body. that doesn't happen here anymore. And abortion is the same way.
So you see it as a constitutional issue, not a states issue. And it's been turned back to the states.
Yes.
Because this goes through a bunch of plebiscite, decisions at the state level. It takes forever to come back here again.
Yeah, exactly.
So do you think there's time to lose this?
I think, yeah. I think we're running out of time, and it's scary to think about because this deadline is coming up, and I hope that they hear our voices and they hear our stories and they make the right decision. I'm Eva. Yeah. EVA, and then my last name is Share, SHARE.
Cool. Are you from DC? Or?
Yes, I just moved here this year from California.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Enjoy the city.
How dare you come for the autonomy of our bodies, but then don't give us what we need in this community. When babies are born, you say to us, we have a shortage right now in our country. Women that are struggling to make sure that they can feed their children right now. But corporate greed is allowing a shortage of baby formula right now in this country.
Can I interview you for a second?
You're from Reuters?
I'm with Reuters. We're like a news agency.
Yeah, sure. It's a little hard for me to hear. Okay. Yeah.
Like Stacey. Yeah, I have an interesting sign.
Right. Well, my sign says.
You'll actually ignore the camera and just look at me.
Okay.
So your sign has a different approach.
Yeah, I say that I'm a Baptist for abortion. I've attended a Baptist church my whole life, and I came from a community that was pro-life, so I understand people's point of view there, and I've come to have a different one. And so my sign is to make the point that to religious people that there's another way of looking at this issue.
And what's your angle on it? Is yours in a nutshell, or is it more complicated? It's going to take a couple hours? Or?
In a nutshell, I believe that we should follow the golden rule that Jesus taught. And that's the most important thing, which is we should do unto others as we would have done unto us. And I don't think that I would want anyone else voting on whether or not I can have an abortion. So for me, that's the golden rule. And another thing that Jesus really focused on is not judging each other. He said that was one of the most important things, is not to cast a stone, not if you have sinned. So I believe that if religious people focused on the golden rule and on that commandment and abortion, which he doesn't even mention in the Bible, then our whole world would be a lot better off.
What experience that's a very cool angle. I didn't mean to force you to put it into a nutshell.
No,
in a very, very good one. I think it makes sense. Thank you very much. What is so it goes back to the states. It seems like the court's saying it's not a constitutional right; it's a state's right. So it's a right to be concerned by the state constitutions, which are all different. 50 different decisions, and then they'll come back up 50 years from now for another battle at the Supreme Court, but by the states representing themselves instead of the people. I mean, currently, it's the people of the court bringing the cases. It could take quite a while for the states to bring it to the court. You know, I mean, certain states will definitely hold firm. You know, 50 years state will hold forever, and not. So are we just kicking it down the road 100 years or what?
I don't know, but I think I think one thing to think about, I came from Tennessee, which is a state that would most likely make abortion legal for women. I don't think that people in states should make decisions. I think individuals and doctors should make those decisions. And I think the lady on stage just made a really good, important point that the people of the District of Columbia don't have representation in Congress who voted for the Supreme Court justices. So I don't think that we have fair representation on this issue, and I don't think it's fair for us to vote at all on these things. Yeah. Laura Bryant. Yes, spelled L-A-R-A-B-R-Y-A-N-T.
Coming back to the Bureau of Washington, they may have told you spelling your last name. Can you spell your last name once the crowd gets quiet? Spell your last name.
Bryant, B-R-Y-A-N-T. Yeah. Like Bear Bryant, the coach.
Okay, cool. There you go.
Yeah.
Thanks for talking.
Yeah.
And you're from where?
I live in Maryland now, but I'm originally from Tennessee, and I lived in D.C. a long time, so D.C. statehood is really important to me. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool spelling for your name, by the way.
Yeah. Thank you.
Don't vote for anybody who's not going to be in support of D.C. statehood, because it is essential to receiving and making sure we have reproductive justice rights in this country. And so, in D.C. we are fighters. Yee will tell you. We are fighters because we've been fighting for autonomy all these years. Being taxed, federally taxed without representation. Taxation without representation holds us down and holds us back. And a Republican Congress will destroy us and destroy our ability to have reproductive justice rights here in this country. So, what I need you to do, when I say to you, when our reproductive justice rights are under attack, what do? I want you to say, stand up, fight back. But I want you to say it so that your man can hear you in West Virginia. I want you to say it so that every Republican senator that voted against our human rights will hear you. I want you to say it so that everybody who will be primaried, who voted against our reproductive justice rights, will hear you. When our reproductive justice rights are under attack, what do? When our reproductive justice rights are under attack, what do? When our reproductive justice rights are under attack, what do? Stand up, fight back. We stand up. We fight back. Bands off our bodies. DC statehood. We got this. We can do this. We will do this. Thank you.
For all things reproductive health, rights, and justice. Please welcome Representative Barbara Lee of California.
Introduction, and good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here, for your energy, for your righteous indignation, for your work, and for lifting your voice for our personal liberties and reproductive freedom. And let me just take a moment to thank all of you, our advocates, organizers, providers, and volunteers who made today possible and for fighting each and every day for reproductive freedom. Thank you. Give our organizers a round of applause. We all know that this
Nobody wants to hear you. 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 Nobody wants to hear you.
What's the process?
Nobody wants to hear you.
Jack, protect the camera.
When the abortion rights is under attack, what do you do? Stand up like that.
Whoa, what the fuck? Take my shit. Security.
When abortion rights is under attack, what do you do? Stand up like that. When abortion rights is under attack, what do you do? Stand up like that. When abortion rights is under attack, what do you do? Stand up like that.
Constitutional right. First time. They won't stop here. If they come for us today, they're coming for you tomorrow. So don't think these bans aren't an attempt to further erode our personal liberties and our democracy. So fight we must to keep these bans off our bodies. member, African American Women for Reproductive Freedom in 1989. She co-founded African American Women for Reproductive Freedom in 1990. And let me tell you, she said, and I hope you get her book, Unbossed and Unbossed in 1970. She said, access to legal abortion was an issue of economic and racial justice. That was in 1970. And in 1977 in Houston at the National Women's Conference, Shirley Chisholm, Barbara Jordan, Coretta Scott King, Congresswoman Maxine Waters, and Maya Angelou, and many others, they were there and spoke about reproductive justice and gender equality. That was in 1977. 2022. Once again, we are fighting this battle. Once again. But you know what? Because of you, because of everyone around our country, we won't let them turn the clock back to those dark days, will we? No, we won't let them do that. We are galvanized, we're organized, we're fighting with you to fight against these bans. And yes, we are here today to tell these radical extremists that if you criminalize people for having an abortion, if you make abortion illegal, if you take away our rights to make our personal decisions about our bodies, we will see you at the ballot box in November. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. Thank you again. Let's get to work and let's fight and keep these people in All right. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. Thank you so much, Representative Lee. Thank you so much.
Where is the actual? Oh, I can't see her on the screen. I can just do the.
Mary Kay Henry. She's the first woman to lead FEIU, y'all. It's the largest healthcare union. And joined up here by April Ferret, president of California-based FEIU, local 2015 largest union of care workers. Introduce them to the stage, y'all. Give her a good welcome. joining you and rising up to fight back. We all staying in this fight, especially the women who have served on the front lines of this pandemic, providing essential services and care that our families and communities rely on.
these women are structured into jobs that are poverty wage jobs because of corporate power and systemic racism. And these same working class women of every race cannot afford a plane, a train, or a bus ticket to another state just to get the health care they deserve. Without the ability to determine their own reproductive destinies and family size, they cannot hope to build a better future. Working people everywhere understand that our fundamental rights are intertwined. Women's rights, workers' rights, voting rights, LGBTQ rights, immigrant rights, justice. When we pull one thread of this fabric of our democracy unravels. We have already seen this extremist wing of the Supreme Court attack workers' rights to join together in unions. Rolling back 40 years of precedent, they sold out our rights as workers to extremists and now are selling out our rights to control our own body. Isn't that right, April?
That's right, Mary Kay. Now, I must say, as a black woman, Barbara Lee speaks for me. Back home in California, and I am proud to stand on the shoulders of Barbara Lee and Shirley Chisholm and Maya Angelou We are going to mobilize, we're going to lift our voices. Now is the time for action. We will fight back. As a healthcare union in this country, SEIU will do everything in our power to keep abortion safe and legal. Abortion is the choice of the pregnant person and no one else. And no one else. Full stop. We will never equivocate on that point. It's not a politician's choice. It's not a pastor's choice. It is the woman's choice. Fundamental constitutional rights. All of us, each and every one of us, has a horse in this race. We all have something at stake in this fight. And let's be clear, there has never ever been equitable access to reproductive care in this country. And so many working women still face employment discrimination. You know it. Just because they are pregnant and they lack paid sick leave and family medical leave. We are organizing, we are mobilizing right now to hold elected officials accountable who will stand up for working women at every level of government. Just like we did for the incredible, phenomenal Cassandra Brown Jackson. Coalition. Look around you. It's shown up here today. We're going to work with our partners across rights, across labor to ensure that the voices of Black, Latina, API, Indigenous, and immigrant women who will be most impacted in a post-war world, they must be heard. They must be seen. too damn important. And don't just text them tomorrow. You keep texting them every single day until they pass their bill. Because it's too much everything. Our fundamental rights are everything. We need to expand reproductive rights in every state in this country. We need to defend workers' rights. Right. Was that a response to and it is all of our rights. We must stand together in solidarity to build our rights.
Are you Reuters?
Here, Ellen. David takes
Yes, come on, give it up for our labor leaders, y'all. Yes! Now we're going to shift to hearing from our trade leaders because we know that the anti-choice movement wants to claim a monopoly on faith. But it's not true. I'm a person of faith, and let me tell you, I'm not out here to fight my faith. I'm here because of my faith. So the people today are joined by Sheila Katz, the CEO of the National Council of Jewish Women. We got Jamie Manson, President of Catholics for Choice. We got a video message from Rafa Kivai, the Repro Legal Defense Fund Director at If, When, How. And we also got y'all Aldra Ray, the National Liaison for Women's Health for the Southern Christian Leadership Conference.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I'm so proud to be here with all of you representing 200,000 National Council of Jewish Women advocates across the country. Spoiler alert, Jews have abortions. Christians have abortions. Muslims have abortions. People of faith and people of no faith have abortions. Right now, people across our country who are already marginalized face the inhumane reality that they could be forced into pregnancy, a life-changing and potentially life-threatening condition. Just one forced pregnancy is one too many. And in this moment, as many as 36 million people face this future. For too long, this country has allowed a small but loud group from the religious right to dominate the narrative around abortion and religion, claiming that abortion access is a violation of religious freedom. So we ask them, whose religious freedom are you trying to protect? Not mine. Judaism not only permits abortion, but requires it when the life of the pregnant person is at risk. Religious freedom is meant to be a shield to protect people of minority communities.
And I know that I'll fight for everything I get.
The only way we can truly have religious freedom
The draft pad.
We must struggle again to win this back, and not for a right to privacy, but for a right to abortion. That is a human right. That is a key part of women's liberation. That is a key part of trans liberation. We are working class people. We deserve these rights. We are what run this country. That's right. Working class people run this country. Please go visit psweb.org and learn about the work that we have been doing for decades, fighting for human rights, fighting for working class power in this country. When women's rights are under attack, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? When human rights are under attack, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? What do we want? What do we want them? What do we want? When do we want them? If we don't get them, if we don't get them, if we don't get them, what do we want? When do we want them? What do we want? When do we want them? If we don't get them.
Jesus died on the cross for your sin, so that you can be saved. Jesus died on the cross for our sins, so we should be saved. And does not force himself to anyone. Turn to Jesus. Turn your God.
That is against human rights. That is not democracy. We, the party for socialism and liberation, stand for democracy.
I'm also the director of the Reproductive Defense Fund, an organization that covers bail and funds strong defenses for people who are punished by the state for self-managing their abortions or helping someone else do so. We started the Reproductive Defense Fund because we knew the criminalization of pregnant people was only going to get worse. We are fighting back against a state that is forcing people to remain pregnant against their will. This is a terrifying time with attacks on people seeking abortion alongside attacks on trans people, a time where a singular version of faith is being used to create church and prison property inmates. This sneak draft shows us what we already knew. The law was memorized to keep us safe, and the state will not protect us if this country is built on controlling the bodies of Black people, Indigenous people, migrants, people with disabilities, urban people, because collaboration is required, we work to ensure that all people have the environments and resources to greatly help these people. This means raising the children we have free from state violence. It means standing up against war, borders, and the occupation of Palestine. It means defining abuse and national prisons and decriminalizing sex work and prison when we start to end pregnancies with a virtual healthcare provider or manage our own abortions, we should be able to do so without fear of being criminalized, deported, and having our children taken away. Outside of all nothing is more powerful than solidarity. It is through our collective actions people believe in our will we want to commit to live in. Please don't implement the Reproductive Defense Fund so our communities feel supported and prepared. The time to build solidarity is now. Our safety, our lives, our communities,